Okay, you've bound off the whole row except for the last 3 stitches. I'm going to show you those last 3 stitches, how to pull your yarn through, and then how to weave in your ends and finish up your work. I'm going to insert my needle, wrap it around, pull it through, pull the stitch over, and now I'm on the last stitch on my left-hand needle, wrap it around, pull it through, pull the stitch over. I have 1 stitch left on my right-hand needle, and I've cut my yarn, so it's about 8 to 10 inches long here, because this is going to be my yarn tail that I'm going to weave in. And now all I do is I pull this final loop all the way through, and I tighten it up. And that's the end of my bind off row, and this yarn is secure here now. So now, to weave in my end, let's take a second and just look at our work and plan out where we're going to weave it in. If you look at your knit dishcloth, you can see that there are some little frowny faces where the stitch kind of curves like a frown, and it's snuggled up next to kind of a smiley curved shape. So that's the stitch underneath it. So for the purposes of this dishcloth, we're going to weave in the end in all of the little smiley faces across the row, and then drop down a row and weave it back through. And there are a number of different ways you can weave in your ends. This is just a consistent, good-looking way to weave it in where it's not going to pull out on you. So I'm going to take my yarn needle, I'm going to thread the yarn tail onto it, and now I'm going to look for those little smiley faces, and I'm going to weave my yarn end into the first 5 little smiles. And now I'm going to go down a row and find the smiles, and I'm going to weave it back up through them. And then once I have the yarn all the way in, I'm going to cut the yarn tail, and I'm going to cut it really close to the work, but it's okay because I've woven it in all the way around, and even if I pull on it, it's not going to come loose. Now all you have to do to complete your dishcloth is weave in the other end from the beginning of your work. And then, once you're finished, you have a complete dishcloth, and you can wear your little pin with pride because you're now a knitter. Congratulations.